Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Ladies Room Talk Show. I'm Clarissa Kenty, your Kingdom Concierge. Happy Monday, everybody. What a beautiful day today. This was a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous day. And I hope you had an opportunity to get out and kind of do a little bit. If you're like me, I come into the office and work. I had a very long day today because I started early. Usually when I'm in the ladies' room, I will come in maybe around 11 or 12. But I'm like, you know what? Forget that. I'm coming in early, have things to do. And then I was able to go out for lunch today and have lunch with a friend of mine. And she and I really had a great time, just kind of chatting and catching up. And it was just beautiful to get out. And of course, when you work for yourself, you have to make sure that you are on time with your work schedule. And just because you work for yourself, it doesn't mean you get to have 2, 3, and 4 hour lunches. You go ahead, you get your lunch, and you get yourself back into the group thing. So really enjoyed myself today. Again, it was just really great. Had a good day, and I hope that you did too. Now listen, there is a lot going on. I'm so excited about what God is doing for me in this season. And kind of, if you follow me on Facebook, you're seeing a lot of the things that are taking place. So I wanted to just kind of briefly share with you on this Thursday night. This Thursday night, I will be recognized as one of the top 50 over 50. Whoop, 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 whoop. I'm so excited. That is, I don't know if any of you are familiar with that, but that is a very, very, very big deal to be even considered to be on that list of people. That's statewide, all types of people from all types of walk of life, and very diverse. It's just very, very nice. And it's such an honor to be recognized for the things that I do in the community. So that will be this Thursday night. You have anything else to do? Go down my page, grab that link, come out and support your girl. It's going to be this Thursday night at the club off of Green Springs, and it will be at 7:00 p.m. Central Standard Time. So it's going to be great. I'm really looking forward to it. Some of you have already shared that you're going to be coming to support me. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm just so geeked up about the honor. I'm very grateful to God for that. And then on August 1st, I will be stepping onto the stage of the TEDx platform, TEDx Alabaster. Again, very blessed to be a part of that. I submitted my application. I was chosen to be one of the speakers. Again, that's a kickoff to a national TED Talk stage. And I'm so excited. I think my biggest challenge with this is probably going to be don't preach and don't motivate, because that's what I do. And then stay in that little bitty circle that's on the stage. You can't go outside that circle. So I'm like, my goodness. So be praying for me on that. But I'm really and truly looking forward to that. Again, it's such an honor to be able to get on that stage and to tell my story. And so I have an opportunity to talk about everything that I experienced on last year, my mom passing away, of course, my dad passing in 2013. And just my talk is just really talking to people, to those of you who have lost something in your life. It could be a spouse. It could be your parents. It could be your children. It can be your job, your career, yourself even. My speech is called Where Do Tears Fall? We all have them. Our tears all fall. But where do they fall? And that's what my TED Talk is going to be about. So guys, come on out and support me. We have 17 tickets left. I'm sure it's going to be sold out by the end of this week. If you want to come, want to be a part, go to my page, zoom down, catch that link, go ahead and grab your tickets. It's August 1st. August 1st, that's on a Saturday. It's really going to be good. I think it starts right at 3:00, I believe, 2 or 3:00. So you want to make sure you get there and get there on time. Now, from what I was told is that you cannot come in after it starts. So I recommend coming in at least 15 minutes beforehand, because once it starts, it will not open up until the next cluster of speakers comes. And so if you're coming to support someone that's in that first cluster, if you're late, you're going to miss them, because you're coming to support them. So make sure you are on time. That's one of the requirements about being there. They will not open those doors back up until the following break. So get there on time. Come out and support, guys. There's so many people in the state, in the Birmingham area that are part, and they're going to be speaking. So you want to come and support them too. So it's going to be great. I would love for you to come and support me and support some really great speakers with some awesome awesome story. So please make sure you go and check that out. Also, I want to thank you guys for hanging out with us last week. We had an awesome guest on last week. If you missed her, go to the Ladies Room Facebook page. That's Lediz, the Ladies Room. Go out there to that Facebook page, hit like, follow it, and go in and grab the show from last week. It was phenomenal, and it was so engaging. I got so many great texts that talked about the information that we discussed on last week, so you don't want to miss it. And guys, listen, we have just an equally powerful guest that's going to be here tonight. She's going to be talking about saving our sons. Her story is amazing. Her story is spectacular and it's powerful. I'm so excited about the initiative that God has given her and has dropped into her spirit. So, Ceandra James. I done said that 15 million times. I hope I said it right. One of those.
You got it right. You got it right.
Welcome to the Ladies Room.
Thank you so much, Miss Clarissa, for having me. It is an honor and a privilege to be on and be your guest. I'm excited.
I am too. You know, I'm looking at you and you look so young.
Ooh, thank you, girl. Look.
So much. Yes, you do. You look amazing.
Thank you.
And you're one of those people where I look at you and I'm thinking you look nothing like what you've been through. And God has been so good.
To God be the glory. To God be the glory is all I can say.
Yes, I'm so excited about your story. Let's talk about it a little bit. Saving our sons.
Yes.
Let's talk about it. How did you get to this point? What happened in your life that put you here?
Well, Miss Clarissa, I tell people, you know, short, simple, and sweet. This is a team that I did not want to be on. You know, some things you volunteer for, and some things, baby, you just want to say, Lord, let this cup pass from me. Right. This would have been that one for me. Saving Our Sons, the Ceandra James Foundation for Gun Violence Prevention, was birthed out of, unfortunately, the passing of my son, Jaden, who was tragically murdered last Valentine's Day. And from that, you know, I could have, woe is me, stayed in my bed, which most days I wanted to do, you know, had my pity party and, you know, just balled up and wanted to die, you know, and some days I felt like I did, but through that pain, I found purpose, you know, and so Saving Our Sons was birthed out of the tragic loss of my son, Jaden. And so, you know, with losing a child, which no parent, I pray that no parent has to go through that, but unfortunately we do, you just try to, you know, pick up the pieces, you know, day by day. And, you know, it's one of those things that I ask God, you know, now that I'm in it and I got to sit in it, you know, what would you have me to do? What is your will for my life? You know, what is my story as a mother losing a son at the age of 22? You know, how can I take this, you know, pain and give purpose to someone else who either has gone through the same hardship that I have, or you might have a son or a daughter. We're not just going to say our sons, a son or a daughter who might have friends that you see them going down that wrong path. They're losing themselves and you just want to give them some words of encouragement and advice, you know, to be kind of, I'm one of those people, I'd rather be proactive than reactive. I don't want nobody else to have to bury a son or a daughter to get to the point that I'm at, to understand, you know, this pain. Don't want to have to do that. So that is what we do. And that is my purpose and my mission.
Mm-hmm. And so now Saving Our Sons, is that the name of the actual initiative?
Yes, ma'am. So Saving Our Sons is the initiative. And, you know, I tell people that's by, you know, either leading our youth to Christ, or that's by, you know, giving them the trauma-informed care that they need. You know, we focus heavily on mental health. We focus heavy on, you know, self-esteem, peer-to-peer interactions, community involvement and engagement, economic workforce development. So all of those things that could be barriers toward, you know, maybe someone going down the wrong path, those are the things that we try to tackle in the beginning so that we can, you know, diminish this epidemic.
So is it a certain age that you're targeting? Because I know, you know, sometimes people have initiatives and they may be targeting high school students, or they may be targeting middle school students. Would a child, I think you're targeting young men. Is there such thing as them being too young to be a part of it?
Absolutely. So right now we have ambassadors for Saving Our Sons, and we actually start as young as elementary school, middle school, high school, and college. You know, I started with the age range, of course, being 13 to 25, because, you know, statistics will show us that is the age group that we lose the most due to gun violence. But
Right.
unfortunately, we do see young people as young as, 2 or 3 losing their lives. No fault to their own, was just at, outside playing and, had a drive-by shooting and they were a casualty of that. Or unfortunately, and even when we're dealing with guns, we even tackle suicide, which is again a touchy subject. We partner with several organizations here in Gadsden and also the Gadsden Police Department, where we have rallies that we offer gun locks and safe to the home. Because we have had some incidents, even in our city, where children were playing with firearms and accidentally shot themselves or a sibling. So, yes, ma'am, we kind of try to tackle every aspect of it.
Are you heavily involved in the school system itself? In
So
Gadsden?
right, okay. So right now, we that is something that we are targeting for this year, because at the moment we are only a year in, and
Okay.
so it's yes, ma'am. So only a year in. One of the organizations that we do partner heavily with here in Gaston is the Gaston Job Corps Center. So we started there first because it did tackle those young adults ages 16 to 24, and what many would consider at-risk youth. Everybody's story at Job Corps is different, but most of them could relate to some of the workshops and the messages that we brought to them. So that was pretty much the first audience that we tailored it to and
Okay.
everything like that. So yes, ma'am.
Okay. There is a motorcycle organization that's in gas. You may be familiar with them.
We have
Um,
partnered with them as well.
okay,
Me
I
and
was just them.
they
Yeah,
they
I
are
was just
phenomenal.
them. They
Phenomenal.
are phenomenal. I had an opportunity to meet them. I spoke at a Gadsden, an Alabama Black Chamber of Commerce event in
Hmm.
Gadsden on early part of this year, and
Yes.
so I was able to meet that group, and they really do some really powerful things in Gadsden, and
Yes.
they are really about initiatives and really helping young people in the community at large. So I think that would definitely, if you are working with them, that's a good group to work with.
Yes, ma'am. They were
Mhm.
part of one of our first rallies that we did. We were able to go over to their the clubhouse, and we had a bike night that was last year, and we are also going to do one this year. So
Okay.
yes, ma'am. So when I say heavily rooted in the community, advocating, giving back to the community, whether that's speeding, whether that's they're heavily involved in the back to school drive, giving away backpacks, clothes, and everything. So they have an amazing ministry here. So
Mhm.
and I know a lot of people don't think that, just men and women on bikes have, impact. But when I tell you they make it work, they make it work. They
Yeah.
do.
Hey, teamwork makes the dream work, and they are a very
Absolutely.
solid organization. I was very impressed with them when I met them. Now with the organization that you're working with now, your group that works with you, I'm sure
Mhm.
you have mentors. I'm sure you have ambassadors that are part of this organization. Do you have other mothers who've experienced the same thing you've experienced? Are they a part of your organization to help?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. We have. Actually, this was the first year. We hosted on June the 12th our Lasting Legacy Gala,
Mhm.
which was so befitting the name and title because unfortunately, most of the children that we honored this year did not have children. So they did not have, as you would say, a legacy to live on. But one person that we honored, Mr. Dakota Hallmark, his mother and I, Miss Tina, I tell people that it's my sister from another mister. Like
Mhm.
our cases, unfortunately, are tied in ways that sometimes I can't even speak
Right.
on. But I will say a little bit to the fact that what has been in the news, some of the gentlemen and young men that were involved in my son's case were involved in the unaliving of her son as well. And
Mhm.
that's about all that I can, say
Right.
about that because we're of course still in the early, phases of, court proceedings and things like that
Uh-huh.
and charges being brought. But Miss Tina, when I say is a grassroots style in your face, knock on your door, come to your job, you know,
Right.
anything, rallying and advocating, she does it. And equally, her heart is, of course, full as a mother, losing a son, but her passion and her purpose behind our mission is honey, sometimes, people have said, honey, I thought it was Tina's. Baby, it's all of ours. And I tell people it's not just about Jaden, it's about all of our babies. And it takes a village. My daughter actually calls her auntie now. We actually just went Saturday to her grandson's second birthday party. So
Okay.
these tragedies have connected our communities in ways that we never,
Right.
thought or imagined. But,
Mhm.
Miss Tina, Mr. and Mrs. Nobles, who are out of Anniston, Alabama, they lost their son, Christian, their only son, Christian Nobles, who was murdered back in 2023. And Christian was an amazing young man, never in any trouble, college graduate, working, towards, just so many great things in life. And unfortunately was, struck down by gun violence. But his mother and father, they started a organization called Parents of Murdered Children in Northeast Alabama. So they have that only chapter here in Northeast Alabama. And the work that they're doing is also amazing. Of course, Miss Anaya Blanchard's mother,
Mhm.
um, Miss Harris, amazing woman. So, unfortunately, it took our children not being here to, put us together. But, you
Mhm.
know, again, I say I believe in divine connection. Our Father makes no mistakes. No matter how it looks like, all is well. And that's what we will continue to say. But they are a huge support to myself, but not only myself, but other families, reaching out to them during a time of, loss and bereavement.
Mhm. And so, would you say for people who are listening tonight or who will listen later, because I always have some that listen later and a couple of days
Yes, ma'am.
afterwards, are you a nonprofit 501c3 organization?
Yes, ma'am. We are.
Okay. And
We
how
are.
can someone that's interested in making donations or sponsoring an event that you're doing, how can they become a part of that, and how can they give to your program?
Awesome. Thank you. They can give via our PayPal, which is, of course, under Saving Our Sons, the Jaden D. James Foundation. They can also give via our website. I am redoing it. I just left, when I tell you, restructured the whole thing. I left Wix, and it was because I didn't have any person to talk to. I'm a people person. I like to talk to somebody. And when I couldn't get someone on, the telephone, I'm switching back and going to GoDaddy. So our website I'm restructuring, but my domain is my domain, but it will be SOSJDJ foundation.org. So that domain is still mine. So that would be a way. But yes, ma'am. But we also accept checks. We also accept goodness, money orders, cash app, everything. So yes, ma'am. But we
Do,
also
are
have.
you on social media?
Oh, absolutely. So under Instagram, we are Saving Our Sons as well, the Jaden D. James Foundation, and as well on Facebook. So you can follow us on social media. And we have all of our sponsorship tiers and things of that nature on that platform as well, on those
Okay.
platforms.
Okay.
So yes, ma'am.
All right. Just saying hello to a couple of people. Shavonda is always a supporter here of the Ladies Room Talk Show. Also, Preston. It's a ladies' room, but Preston is always in the building. So he is a big supporter of the Ladies Room as well. So good
I
evening,
love it.
guys, here tonight. Be sure to share the live with your network of friends. Now, can people in Birmingham be a part of this, or are you primarily geared towards Gadsden?
Oh no, ma'am. We right now, I say the entire state of Alabama. So we travel.
Okay.
Whether it's in Anniston, whether it's Talladega, whether it's Birmingham, whether it's Huntsville, if there's a need, we go. We have people who are on our what we call outreach team. Those are the people who are, grassroots on, the ground, going to different. I know what I needed as a parent going through this process, and after the phone calls stop, after the text stop, after people stop showing up at your house,
Mhm.
that is when we kick into gear to let you know you're not alone, you're not by yourself. That could be, sending cards, that could still be following up and just sending food to that family, just doing this process. But it's also advocating and rallying and showing up to court dates with you. There is nothing more worse than going to a court date and the only person there with you is like your daughter, your mother, and a few other family members. But then the person, that committed the crime has a whole entourage over there, and you're like, Lord
Yeah.
Jesus, my baby life matters. So just
Mm,
being able to be in a space with people, to not be alone, that is one of my goals and my missions as well,
mm,
because it is much needed. Being able to offer support in, Jaden had life insurance. Unfortunately, we're still fighting the insurance policy about money that was ours, on policies that we
mm,
paid for, and people don't understand it until you go through it. I mean, given the rip and run around about XYZ of why you can't
right.
get this money. And so just making sure that we point people in the directions of getting the resources with Victims Advocacy Commission, but also those are services that we help with as well, paying for funeral expenses, because on one of your worst days, that is the least, that is the one thing you shouldn't have to think about, is how you're going to
Mhm.
bury your loved one. I've
Absolutely.
seen people have to do GoFundMe, fish plates, t-shirts, and that's just something that we don't want to have to do. So we do also partner with insurance companies to go out and do workshops and forums on the importance of having life insurance policies,
Mhm,
something that people really don't want to think about, but it's important in our
mhm,
community.
mhm. I like the fact that it looks like your organization is providing resources
Yes, ma'am.
for people who are in this situation, or something that happens to them unexpectedly. I think insurance is probably one of the big things that in our community we either feel like, I don't think it's the fact that we can't afford it. It's
Mhm.
just that we feel like it's not important to invest in, especially for young people and that sort of thing. And so I think being educated in the classes that you're holding to educate people, I think is very, very good. Even for people who have not lost anyone, that class is still very
Absolutely.
important. And then how, the ones that you can get, because most people, if they're looking at saving money, they're not going to go with whole life. And
Mhm.
so, and whole life is probably one of the better ones to get, because your money can work for you. And
Absolutely.
so I'm so excited that you're holding these classes and you're providing resources, and that you're not only providing help for those parents and those people who have suffered some form of loss, but you're also helping those young people to stay out of trouble, for lack of a better term, to stay out of trouble and to make wise and quality decisions. How do you think through conflict, and how do you come
Mhm.
to healthy resolve? So I'm excited about what you're doing. Do you have workshops like this every month, or do you kind of every so often? How can people, be a part of what you're doing?
Right now, we are every so often. I would like to do more than that, but of course, I be telling people life be out here life, and then I have to work my 8 to 5 job, and I also own a bakery, so I'm a very busy woman. So I own a bakery here in downtown Gaston. So yes, ma'am.
On the main strip.
Yes, ma'am. So downtown Gaston on Broad Street. It's called
And
the
what's the
Candy
name of
Factory, Bakery and Brew House. So yes, ma'am. Doing the transition of my son Jaden, I cook to cope, and that was something for me, um, that I could just let go. And I love to cook. I love for people to taste my food. For me, it gives me a joy and excitement. So that is one of my outlets, cooking and baking. So
I'm
pretty
looking
much.
forward to that. I'm thinking I may be in Gadsden tomorrow. So I don't know if you're open tomorrow or not, but I may have to swing by and grab something. I'm going to Jazz It Up Boutique, because of the top 50 over 50 I mentioned.
Mhm.
She normally styles me for all of my major events, and so I need to go to Jazz It Up.
Yes, man. We
Yeah.
love Jazz. We
Oh
love
my,
her. Jasmine is amazing.
she is. So hopefully I'll be able to come to Gaston tomorrow, and I'll swing by and grab. I don't know if you'll be there or not, but
I
if it's
won't be
open,
there tomorrow.
okay.
Look, I work my 8 to 5 tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
I'm
So
typically there on
if
the
you
weekends.
close,
Yes,
will it be
ma'am.
closed? Would you have someone there? Would
No,
it be closed?
ma'am.
Okay.
It'll be closed.
It's okay. I'll be back.
But I can still get some to you, honey. Even if I have to ship it in the mail and get it to you, I
Oh
can.
yeah, that's good. But I go to Gaston periodically anyway. I'll probably have to go back again for some other stuff she needs to do for me. So, but I'm really excited, Ceandra, about what you're doing, and how you're there to help parents. I mean, you're covering everybody, not just parents who've lost loved ones. You're dealing with those young people by being a voice for them and a voice to them. And so,
Yes,
as we're wrapping up tonight, I want you to speak to um, those people who may have experienced some form of loss. It may not be from a child, it may be from a career or divorce or a loss of some form of a loved one, maybe a loss of something that was very precious to them. If you could speak to those people who may be stuck in that transition of mourning, can you speak to them tonight and just find some words of encouragement to kind of keep them to keep moving, keep pushing, and find that why that they need to find in order to keep living?
Absolutely, absolutely, yes, ma'am. I would love to encourage, everyone out there who, like Miss Clarissa said, is dealing with some form of loss. It might not be my story of losing a child. It could be a parent, it could be a spouse, could be a sibling, or another relative or family member. It could, of course, as Miss Clarissa said, could be a job, or it could have been just losing yourself. Understand that there are many stages of grief. And I always encourage people to give yourself grace to go through it. But I always say, don't stay in it. Understand that, some days you're going to be strong. You're going to have it all together. And that's great. Now, some days, honey, you're going to feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders and you about to fall apart. And that is okay also. And that's why I say, let that grace come in. But in all things, forgiveness, whether it's for someone else, whether it's for yourself. For me, that was the biggest part of my healing journey and my process was forgiveness. Of course, we cannot be forgiven unless we learn how to forgive. And that was the biggest thing for me. It's just asking God every day to create in me a clean heart and to allow me to have a heart posture to, even though these young men that took my son, even though pray for them and forgive them, not, forgetting the actions that took place or, not acknowledging, that they have to accept accountability for their actions, but just understanding that, I forgive them. That was the hardest thing because I needed that. But just understanding that you are not alone. Please understand that there is help out there. So I always encourage people, if you have not sought out mental health and counseling and therapy, please do so. I know that in some cultures and communities it could be taboo, but I tell people, babe, I need Jesus and my therapist. And there is help and resources out there for free mental health courses or sessions, excuse me. And also that is a service that we provide as well. If you are needing mental health, we will pay for those sessions for you. Also, there are many churches that have Grieving Gracefully courses. New Destiny Christian Church is one that I hold near dear to my heart. Pastors Steve and Rita Smith have wrote an amazing book, and Miss Vonda Suttles does an amazing job facilitating that course. So I encourage people to, if you're in the gas and the surrounding areas, check out that class. But, don't stay in it and don't go through it alone and by yourself. There is help.
I like that. I like the fact that you said that there is help and that you're not alone. When you go through certain things, you feel like you are by yourself, and there are times where you are. Those spaces, when I lost my mom last year, there were spaces where I was by myself. Why? Because when it's come to time to make a decision, that decision,
Mhm.
it can't nobody else tell you, can't nobody else speak it for you.
Absolutely.
You have to make the decision whether you're going to pick yourself up and allow God to do what he needs to do so you can keep pushing forward, or if you're going to sink down a little bit lower in that mourning process, because we all mourn. We mourn differently, but
Yes,
we have
ma'am.
to be able to mourn forward and not get stuck down into that grief process. And
Absolutely.
so that's the only time I think there is a time that you will be alone is just when you make the decision. After that, it's time to reach out. It's time to seek the guidance and the help that you need to help you, because together, I'll say this, Sandra, I really didn't realize how important community was, especially
Oh,
my
yes.
as well. When
Mhm.
you're talking to someone like me, I'm usually there for people. Seldomly people are there for me,
Mhm.
for real, because they are automatically assume I got it together. I really don't need
Yes, Lord.
there for a lot of people, and I don't mind. I'm created for that. That's how God made me. That's what I do. I love being there for people. But I didn't realize how much I needed community when my mom passed until the community was there. My
Yes.
church family traveled all the way to South Carolina to come to my mom's service. And so to see them out there, I preached my mom's eulogy, but to
Wow.
see them out there and the support, and they stayed for the overnight, and I hung out with them after the funeral was over, just to really, just to fellowship and just really have a good time. I realized how important community is and how much community was. And so
Absolutely.
you have to embrace community. Some people don't know what to say, or all of that, but if you have people who are willing to come, allow them to come.
Hmm.
Allow saving our, is it saving our sons?
Yes, ma'am.
Our sons, allow saving our sons to reach out to you. If that's you, if we're talking to you tonight and you're in this space and you feel like you're just stuck and you can't really move forward, you don't have the strength to do it, I mean, let them be your Aarons and Urs. Let them be the one that's going to hold your arms up when you're weak and when you're tired and you can't move on. You have Saving Our Sons as an organization that's there to help you and that's there to educate you. But also, if you're working with young men in the school system, if you have organizations that you're working with young men, get with Ceandra, talk to her and see how she can partner up with that. Because
Absolutely.
together we all achieve more. So let what she's doing pair up with the organization that you already have, and that makes you an even stronger network of people that can help our young people. So let's not think that we're just doing things on our own. Let's partner up and see what we can do, because it's, at the end of the day, it's not about who we are, it's about what we are doing for these young people,
Absolutely.
what can be done and how successful we are at doing it. So guys, reach out to my girl, go out there to her Facebook page, Ceandra James, and send her a friend request and tell her you heard about her on the Ladies Room Talk Show, so she'll know you're not a scammer. So
Okay, come on now.
request.
Look, if you keep, I'm like, I don't know who this is. What they
Right.
look-
Looking sketchy. So yes, those guys, please reach out to her. Let's go ahead and partner up. She says she'll come to Birmingham, Jefferson County, Shelby County, Sinclair County, all of these counties that are here, because everywhere we have young people that
Absolutely.
need assistance. So Ceandra, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight, taking out your busy schedule. I know you're busy, but thank you. We truly appreciate you coming in and hanging out with us tonight.
I am truly honored and grateful. Thank you so very much. And I appreciate the opportunity. And when you come to Gaston, honey, we got to link up. So yes, ma'am.
All right. I think I disappeared for a second.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah. But
Did you hear that last part?
I did not.
I said, yes, ma'am. Thank you so very much for allowing me the opportunity to, just sit and just have a conversation with you, but also to be your guest. But I am just grateful. And when you're in Gaston, please, reach out to me. I would love nothing more than to, like the old folks say, lay eyes on you.
Yes.
Lay eyes to meet you in person. Yes, ma'am. Just meet you in person. So yes, ma'am.
Yes. And I'll let you know, because I have your contact information. So
Okay.
I'll let you know when I come in. I definitely am coming in tomorrow, but I have to come back in again probably the following week for some things, and I'll let you know.
All right. Yes, ma'am.
All right, guys. Yes, thank you so much for joining us inside the Ladies Room Talk Show. Please go in and share this live, guys, because out of the number of people that's on, I have over 6,000 people that follow me on social media, in Facebook alone. So out of that, somebody can get something out of this live. So please go ahead, share it with your network of friends, so we can be a blessing to all of those who hear this message. So you're going to be in the play. Let me talk about that for a second. You're going to be in the play, Ceandra?
I know I'm going to be a vendor, and I'm going to, just speak towards Saving Our Sons and what we do. But I don't know about being in the play. I might have to, dust off my vocal cords.
I'm going to be in the play that's coming dead wrong. So it's going to
I'm so excited and ready for it. Honey, I like to laugh. For me, laughter has been a honey, there is nothing for my mom and my family and I to go to the Stardome in Hoover, honey, and catch a comedy show.
Yeah.
Laughter and just getting out and living, whether that's on a cruise or just, family get-togethers.
Right.
Like you said, community is so important, and that has been one thing that has helped me so much. I love to laugh and I love life. So
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
ma'am.
I'm the same way. I mean, laughter has really helped me through
Oh
some really
yes.
tough times, and being around friends who authentically are funny. I have
Oh yes.
friends. They're crazy. But I will tell you, dead wrong. The stage play is giving a good message, but it is hilarious. It's hilarious. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good, good, good. So again, Ceandra, thank you so much for joining me. Guys, again, thank you so much for joining me. I could not be who I am without your continued support. Been at this for 10 years, and you have been rocking and rolling with me every single year. So it'll be 10 years in September. So hopefully we'll have something pretty fun to do to celebrate our 10-year mark. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Stay safe, stay the course, and we'll see you back here next Monday. Good night.
Step into the ladies' room with Clarissa.